things. We are in the middle of writing plans of how work will look in the future. And as you all know, that we're not back to face-to-face classes. In fact, I've been on some national calls and wanted to share out that other states are not either, and they're planning for long-term plans on how to provide programming without being face-to-face. And schools are planning in Utah planning to even have outbreaks in October and shutting down again. So they're only actually planning through October on various plans to have kids back in school. So there's just all these challenges, and so I've talked to a bunch of people, administration and stuff, and as we're writing these plans, we're going to ask for some feedback from you. In fact, we're going to do some surveys out to both supervisors and ambassadors to get information back from you of what you're able to do. But one important thing is to note that the job will change, and most likely we're going to be looking at doing more virtual classes, either with schools or libraries or other additional ways to reach youth and to also continue to reach adults. And so keep that in your mind, and we'll be setting these plans up in the next few weeks, and so you can review them and determine whether or not that you're going to be willing to meet these new job requirements. And partially why we don't do it is because of liability. We don't want to put the federal government liable, USU liable, yourselves, or other people, and so we're taking all precautions that we can. And so that is the first bit of information. I feel like it's kind of a downer information, but it can also bring us great opportunities and possibilities. So once again, we'll reach out to you about ways that, about completing a survey so we can get some information back from you, each of you, and the surveys are confidential and we can't identify who you are, so you can put information in there that is helpful. We want to know, we know that work for many of you, especially when you don't feel comfortable doing virtual classes, it's very difficult, but and unfortunately we're going to have to do virtual classes in order to keep our program moving forward. So we'll move to the next agenda item, which is Casey.
Hi everyone, just a couple of reminders. 2 weeks ago, I think, I sent out the instructions on how to complete your Facebook Live classes. There were 2 sets of instructions. One was for your survey or your classes that didn't have any survey responses. You're going to delete that program activity and move it to an indirect activity following the instructions sent. And then the second set of instructions was how to for those classes that did have survey responses, how to go and view those survey responses, pull the reach numbers and the demographic characteristics of those that completed the surveys to be able to close out your program activity and mark it as complete in pairs. So we're now in August, so I'd encourage you to go in and start managing those. We've got 2 months left of our fiscal year. So go ahead and start closing out those that have survey responses or deleting those program activities that don't have survey responses and creating the new indirect activity. I think Amalia sent out the instructions with the last scoop, so hopefully you can find them either in an email that I sent or that Amalia sent. If you have any questions, just let me know and I'd be happy to walk you through that. And then the other thing I'm seeing, just as the year is starting to come to a close, be sure that in all of your pairs entries, so program activities, PSE, indirect, partners, coalitions, everything, you select the COVID-19 impact field. So anything that has been impacted by COVID, select one of the options. There's new due to COVID-19, postponed due to COVID-19, modified, or canceled. I sent instructions about that several weeks ago, so just make sure all of your program activities or any kind of activity are indicated how they were impacted by COVID. Now, if it was something that started in October and it was wrapped up before March, before all this started, then you don't have to select anything. There is not an option for things that were not impacted. So just those things that have occurred or were supposed to occur from March on should have something selected in that box. That's going to really help with our reporting out at the end of the year and to see the impacts that COVID had on the programming that was supposed to be. So be sure to fill that out accurately. We'll send those instructions out with the scoop again this week. Are there any questions on those two items?
I have a question, Casey. So if an ambassador planned on maybe having a garden in the summer or do some sort of event that's a PSE event that they've never entered into pairs and then they did it because they didn't do it, should they add things that they were planning on doing?
No.
Okay.
No, if you didn't have an entry, there's no need to go in and create an entry. I can see where you're going with that, Lacey, but I think that'll just make it a little trickier. So only things that were initiated, how they were impacted by it.
Thanks.
Good question. Okay, thanks everyone.
Awesome, thank you. Lacey.
Yeah, I just want to let everyone know that I have new numbers for eligibility for the schools. I'll be adding them to your eligibility folders by tomorrow. And it sounds like we're going to be getting some new instruction from Casey and Heidi on how to work with the schools this upcoming year. So hopefully this will align well as you start making those plans. Obviously waiting for guidance from Casey and Heidi as to what you'll be able to do. And then a side thing that I also wanted to share, the pandemic EBT has been approved for Utah. And what that is, it's basically like EBT funding, kind of like SNAP funding, but it's for parents of children who qualify for the free and reduced lunch program. And so they're able to receive money to buy the food that the kids could have had in school. And and in my realm, just to let you all know that does qualify for double up food bucks. And so if you did have any questions or someone in your online classes, if anyone brings that up, just so you know a little bit about that.
Thanks, Lacey. That's great information to share out. I think people are going to be hit really hard coming into August when they've lost that extra $600. So this pandemic funds will definitely help with that. All right, let's move on to Amalia.
Hi everyone, I just wanted to remind you later this week, I've been going through everybody's Google calendars. So later this week, you'll be getting emails to meet with me to go over Google Calendar and see what we need to do to get those all updated. So if you see an email from me, please reply back as quick as you can so we can get those set up.
Thank you. Thanks. So we're coming to the phase of cleaning up and starting up a new year, and we've just been really super impressed with the hard work that you've all done. All right. We'll do some county sharing. Let's start with Beaver. Right before they start, I'm just going to do a little disclaimer on our sharing. And just, we love you sharing. We love your ideas, and we want to continue with that. And sometimes we do hear ideas that aren't always allowed in all places and all things. So we try to redirect. But if you have questions about what's being shared and would like to do something, please reach out to any of us at the state office, Casey, myself, and any of us there, that we can help guide you into what's allowed. But we do want to hear your sharing, and we really appreciate it. So I don't know if Beaver is on, but if you would like to share, we would appreciate that.
Hi, I'm not sure Lorraine's here, but she is still doing her new training. She's getting through with that. A little difficult to start new classes because of where she's at, but we're going to meet and try to come up with a plan and how to do things virtually and through the library and with the schools. I did contact the schools, the elementary schools here, which have given us permission to come in face to face, but we can't do that, until we get that permission through Create Better Health. So we're trying to look at some virtual things.
All right, Cindy, also we can look at ways we can work with Andrea and the others to try to submit things through risk management as well. So that will be something that we write into our plans. It takes a couple weeks, and it probably will be a little longer because now it'll go through us and then through the other systems. So, but that's something we can definitely look at.
Okay, thank you.
All right, now Box Elder.
All right, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So we have harvesting has started at the community garden. So we've just made a 16-pound donation to the Brigham City food pantry, and that was along with other people's donations. And then we will be donating to the Tremont food pantry today. As well as we've just been working on social media things and posting Facebook stories and things like that.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
All right, Cash.
Hello. Here in Catch, all the live video lessons are published on Facebook, both in English and Spanish. We are done with that. We are still working with buy produce for your neighbor. So far, we have delivered more than 200 pounds to the food pantry. I still have contact with the 5 families at the community garden. All of them have been harvesting for their own families. And also we are trying to publish a food fun and reading newsletter at Logan Library. That's it.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. David or Carbon. I'm checking through real quick to see if Carbon's on. If you are, you might be muted.
Yep,
for.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry, I dropped the signal for a second, so I was waiting for it to kick back on. And I'm still waiting for my camera. Sorry. Okay. Can you guys see me and hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So everything's been so up in the air. It's been super crazy, but I'm still doing Create Better Health classes with my active reentry every month. And this month we're actually going to do something a little bit different and fun. We're going to do the My Plate Bingo. So that should be a nice little change of pace for a minute. And then I'm also going to be starting up the youth classes with the active reentry pretty soon here as well. We were just kind of waiting to find out exactly what was going on and get the word of what sounds like we'll be getting this week. So also sending videos over to the library for food fun and reading. Gosh, it's one of those mornings. And then I've been sharing the Captain Create quite a bit too, and everybody's starting to really love that. So that's been really fun. And then let's see, I was waiting to find out what was going on so that I could move forward with talking to my school boards and the community elementaries and junior highs or middle schools. So hopefully we'll be able to do some virtual stuff with them. And then other than that, I'm probably going to do some on our own Facebook page. So it's going to be like a scavenger hunt. So I'm just going to put through a list and like a little fun game for my plate. So just something kind of different to shake it up a little bit. Other than that, I'm pretty much just waiting on all the new information on what we can and cannot do. And then I'm also been working on my pairs this week as well. So
Thank you. All right, Davis.
Hi. We've been just doing kind of the same as we said last month. We've got a Farm Fresh series going over on Facebook. We post a little lesson and then a second video with a healthy recipe using farm fresh produce throughout the week. Kendall's been posting lots of other helpful information and reposting stuff from the state over on social media. And then we are doing Buy Produce for Your Neighbor at the USU Botanical Gardens Farmers Market here in Kaysville. So we go set up that box and they watch over it for us, and we pick it up at the end of the night, take it to the food pantry the next day, as well as twice a week we're picking up produce from 3 different community gardens and taking that to the pantry as well. I think we're averaging about 100 pounds a week, maybe more, maybe 100 to 200 between the farmers markets and our community garden donations. So that's what we're up to.
Awesome, thanks, Davis. I'm going to jump to a question really quick that we have in chat about the masks that you received in the mail. They were masks that USU was able to provide out. Right now, we don't have a specific approval. We just sent them out to you so you would have them. So we don't have approvals to go out and do additional teaching. We have some stuff that people have been requesting through Lacey about community garden work and pantry work, and we've been trying to approve those. But like I mentioned, in the next couple of weeks, we will have more information on what the plan will be and how we will move forward. One other thing I wanted to mention really quick too is, sometimes we have social media going on at my house and I have an 11-year-old who's almost 12, and she sees some of the work that you're doing, and she's like, I want to see that cute little video, or so she watches your videos, and that's kind of fun. She enjoys them. She loved the noodle making with Barbara and said we have to make those noodles because actually it's a family thing that my family, or my husband's family, does, is they make homemade noodles for Thanksgiving actually. And so she was pretty excited to see that, but appreciates the work. So you guys are reaching an 11-year-old with the work that you're doing. All right, on to Deshane.
Can you see us okay?
Yes.
So we've been doing a lot of work in Duchesne County. So we just finished up our Rural Opioid Summit, and we sent out about 500 physical copies of Create Better Health recipes, farmers market books, Kids Creates, and a few others. But that was a really good number to send out. And then we also have been doing Buy Produce for Your Neighbor at the farmers market. This last week I was able to contact a few of the vendors, and we ended up coming home with 50 pounds of produce for the farmers market, and I hadn't even get signage up or nothing. It was just kind of an introduction, so we're really excited about that. We think that program will be real successful at the Roosevelt Farmers Market. And then we've also still been doing work with Painted Horse and their Garden Box project. We actually went and checked up on a lady last week, and it was her first time growing anything, and we probably got like 10 squash off her plant. She was really excited, so I'm pretty sure she's going to keep doing it next year. And we also have still the Latino Garden Box project that we're still doing, and those are still doing really good. I don't think anybody's picked anything off their garden yet, but we're close. And then we're working on videos. We're going to intertwine our Farm Fresh curriculum with stuff we're getting. We have a beautiful garden at our office, and so we're going to be taking stuff from gardens, our personal gardens and our community garden, and doing recipes on there and tying in our Farm Fresh curriculum for some videos that will be coming out. And I think that's it. That's what we're doing in Duchesne.
Awesome. I got your box of goods the other day. Thank you. That looked awesome. It looked like you had a great event.
It was a lot of work, but it was fun.
Yes. I bet it was. All right, Emory County.
We're still doing our weekly video. Thank you about the noodles. They are fun to make. This week we're going to be doing muffins. We're going to be talking about breakfast and things that we could make to freeze before school starts for breakfast. Chris is still going to Green River for 4-H, so we're working with the food bank to send food bags with recipes to the enrolled families she has down there. And they've really enjoyed that. The food bank's been really fun to work with for that. We're working, still sending handouts to the LDS Bishop Storehouse and to the food bank and to the senior citizens at least every other week, sometimes once a week. I'm working, still finishing my NNCP certification. I realize how old and dumb I am now. We have been working with, we're not having a farmer's market this year. The city didn't want to take it over, and we've always been responsible for it. So we've just called the individual gardeners and asked them to please donate any extra they have to the food bank. Gardens are just barely starting here. We haven't seen too much of anything but cucumbers and squash, but people have been very generous with that. And that's about what's happening in Emory County.
Thanks, Barbara. Oh, good. All right. Garfield is putting that on because we don't have an ambassador right now. Iron County.
I was just texting my nutrition people to see why they're not on this morning. I just know that they are now that Abby's through with her training, they're planning to get together and do some joint videoing and get some things out there. They were pretty inspired by Brittany's report from King County a couple weeks ago, and we're trying to get some things moving on along those lines. But kind of hard to keep spirits up when all you really want to do is teach face to face, right, guys? But they're working on it.
Yeah, you're so right. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks for trying to keep the spirits up too. I just don't even know what to project for the future. You know, hopefully one day we can get back to it, but we'll just plug along and do our best till we get there. I think we should just, I think it should just go away so we can just do our thing again. All right, Kane County.
All right, so I've been continuing to do the newsletters for the library, and I started doing them for WIT also, and then the Mill on Wheels recipients. I started sending like an article and then a recipe for them. I'm working with my supervisor to make plans to record classes for the fall. We have like a little virtual place set up to record there, so it'll be a little more professional, so we're in the works with that. And then I'm working with the health department and the state office to do a PSE project at one of the markets in town to do some healthy checkout lanes. So I meet with the owner of the grocery store tomorrow. I just did a Zoom meeting at 11 o'clock and just put together some options and ideas. She seems really good to work with and wants to do some programming. She reached out to me before COVID happened and wanted me to teach a class in a space that they have at the grocery store, and had some other ideas that we're not able to do at this time. But I'm hopeful for the healthy checkout lanes, and hopefully the other grocery store in town will see that work and want me to do it there as well. So we'll see. Exciting.
Hey, Brittany, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So you're recording your youth classes, and then are the teachers sharing them in the classroom, or how do you have that set up?
So I am just planning with my supervisor right now to do the recording. And then I usually do my teaching with the PE teacher. So we've kind of been collaborating on ways that they would either do it during their PE time one day of the week, you know, or in the classroom. So we don't have that completely finalized, just kind of collaborating on some ideas of how we do that. But as soon as I find out, I'll send out an email to the state office and then make sure that'll work. But we'll see. Should be good.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, and today we have a regular staff meeting usually before this one, and we were talking about things that you all have mentioned, such as these recordings, and maybe reaching out to the librarians at the school, and maybe that's a way to also do additional teaching. But we'll try to come up with a bunch of ideas and look to you to continue to grow those ideas. And thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. All right, Millard County.
Thanks.
Okay, this last month I've been busy doing the farmers feeding recipes. I've been posting videos. This month and part of July I've been doing some just indirect videos like on beans. I did baked beans one week and then the black bean corn salsa last week. And do another bean recipe again this week. I started some PSC with helping the Delta North Elementary Garden. They used to have volunteers come in and help weed it, but this year everything they haven't had that, so I got permission from Lacey to go in and help weed the garden. And I was able to get 8 pounds of zucchini last week off it, which we donated to Central Utah in our sharing your produce with your neighbor program, which is another PSC we started, putting the bins out every Monday at the back door at the food bank so that those that are growing gardens can donate produce there. And I've been doing our social media, and that's about it, I think.
Thanks, Mariana. Sounds like great work. All right, Paiute County. Okay, I just ran through the names and I don't see Paiute on, but if I missed you, please holler at me. And we'll just move on to social media. We're going to start with Candy.
I don't think she's on, Heidi.
Okay, I was just heading through, so thanks for finding that for me. All right, how about we'll do Paola and then Hiram?
Okay, so for this week, I'm gonna talk about the Facebook page and on the blog about healthy beverage. So I've been sending some emails for the Latino ambassadors with to-do list. So if you could share a way that you choose a healthy beverage, I will appreciate it. And another thing is now the Salt Lake County has a Facebook page for Spanish community. So they're going to be sharing too some recipes and some of the videos that Nicole has been doing with the Salt Lake County. So yeah, if you can just give it a thumbs up, I will appreciate it. And yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about this week.
Thank you. Hiram?
Okay, first I actually have a question for you, Paola. You said share ways to choose a healthy beverage. Is that just email you ways that we...
Oh, well, I know. It's just what I've been doing is on the Facebook page or in the blog, you just put a comment or share, like, oh, the way that for example, I don't like to drink just plain water. So instead of choose soda or juice with a lot of sugar on it, I just do, I just add some blueberries or strawberries to my plain water. And that's how I I choose something healthy instead of, you know, just a comment.
Okay.
Basically, yeah, because what I do, it's those type of things that give me numbers so I can report them, you know. I give more so people can know a little bit more about those two pages. I mean, the blog and the state page on Facebook.
All right.
So
Thank you.
yeah, you don't have to email me anything. Just
Okay.
share
Sorry, I
or
was just
comment there.
perfect. I will attempt to comment. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
perfect.
you, Paula.
Okay, bye-bye.
For Captain Create, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who participated in the Grains quiz video. I think it was my favorite part to make. I really appreciate all of the answers, and I hope that you did too. I also thought it would be kind of fun to share some of the insights and that I've had, or just looking at the analytics for the page. I don't normally do that, but what I noticed today as I was kind of running through, the views aren't super high, as you can see in the actual videos themselves, but the 50% of those views, not just of this video, but in the last month, came from people that have not subscribed to the page. So that's kind of cool, over 50%, which means most of them are probably not within Create Better Health, which is cool. And there were 3,200 impressions, which means, for those that don't know what that means, it's that one of the Captain Create videos appeared on someone's screen 3,200 times in the last month, which is really cool because that's like 100 times a day, right? So I'm really excited, and that is a stat that's up. So that's really cool. Anyway, your participation and sharing is making an impact, and I really appreciate it. Coming up, we have a Why Grains Are Important video. I don't know what the name of that is going to be yet. And then sometime, I hope by the end of this month, we'll be able to do a blueberries video. It's one of my favorite fruits, so I'm really excited to do that. And then I also am going to be working on writing some new scripts. And this, if there's some idea that you have that you think would be fun to make a video about for youth or for your youth programming that you can share in one of your lessons, please feel free to email me. That's kind of how the asparagus video went with Kara, and she kind of even wrote up this model script, right? You don't have to do that, but if you have an idea of something that you think would be interesting to do, please feel free to send it my way. And that's all that I have.
Thanks, Hiram. I'm just going out of line all over the place, so we're going to pull in Laurie Bates because I skipped Juab County in the review above, so we'll do that now, and then we'll finish with the last couple of social medias. So, Laurie?
I just thought that maybe I was going to do it next time. Hi, so glad to see everybody. Well, some of you anyway. I've been doing social media and learning a lot about what to do and what not to do. This week I did a live, and I used the Kindle to see if I could get a better quality, and it messed up. And so I took the live off after I got done, and we redid it on my phone. And so it's been quite the ordeal, and I hope I can get the hang of everything. And if anyone has any tips, please send them my way. But I did an article for Times News, an article for 4-H newsletter. I've been cleaning some things out in my office in the evenings when nobody's there. And that's about it.
Thanks, Laurie. By the way, yours is one of the ones, she loves all of your videos, and she loves the uniqueness. And I think it's fun that almost a teenager is enjoying the work that you're doing. Okay, Ashley and then Kate.
No updates for me today, just a big thank you to everyone who's been supporting Utah SNP Works through liking and commenting.
Thank you. All right, Kate.
Okay, so it's kind of more of the same. Like I think we've got our photo box storage figured out, so we don't all have to keep requesting, photos and please share this, please send this to me, and send this to Hiram, and send this to Candy. Like, I think we've kind of, I don't know what the word is. I forgot it. Anyway, I've only had one coffee this morning. I'm still kind of sleepy. But this week for Around the World in 80 Plates, we're going to Thailand. And then I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner, but I actually have a ton of access to people from school, like chefs that are working worldwide. So I've been sending kind of requests out to them for some Around the World in 80 Plates recipes and photos that are like, hey, this is a real kid in Greece and this is what he's eating, and like look at the picture of him with his yaya, and like they're making all this food. And so I'm hoping being able to show maybe some real world examples of like kids that live elsewhere that are still eating healthy food, and then share like a easy adaptation of a recipe if there's something that people can't get here that's like a specific, like there's specific spices that they use in Colombian food that's really difficult to find in the US. So sorry. So yeah, I'm trying to find people that live in the countries that I want to highlight and have them share like a recipe or an anecdote or a photo like I did with Lal from Sri Lanka. So that's kind of where we're going with that. And then I'm sticking with recipe of the week is just something from the recipe bank that we've got, or possibly videos like demonstrations, maybe the noodles video. I'll see if I can embed that into the blog so that we're showing people again, hey, other counties, other ambassadors, like we're all, you know, here to help you guys, and we've got a ton of recipes. So if you're not in my county or you're not in a specific county, you can find stuff from other counties too. So anyway, but thanks to everybody for commenting and sharing and clicking like. You know, like Paula said, that really helps our numbers go up and really increases our visibility. So even if you comment on like one of Hiram's videos, it'll show up on your friends' feeds like, hey, my friend commented on this. And so that really helps his impressions go up. And that works across the board for any social media. So like when I see other people's videos, I try and like them or share them on my county's page, because I really don't have a way to do videos yet. No, I'm done.
Thanks, Kate. I actually really appreciate you bringing up how sharing helps everybody, and the work that we're doing. We're not competing against each other. We're just here to lift the program all together, and so everything that you guys do helps each other. And I appreciate how supportive you have all been with the work that each county's doing. And you know, I also appreciate when you are like so. What I'm trying to think of a word that's not appreciate, when you are so kind and give good comments to your coworkers. I think that's a really important piece. And one more thing that I just want to mention is we won't have our annual conference face-to-face this year, and so it's going to feel a little different. And sometimes we get disconnected from each other a little bit more when we aren't able to meet and face-to-face. But we will do a virtual type of conference. It's going to be great. We have some great things lined up that we were going to do face-to-face or virtual. We had that in mind when we came up with the ideas. And so we'll do a lot of community partnership work, and we'll be getting you information on what annual conference will be looking like here shortly as well. We still want you to save that week. And also one more thing is we're going to have new county supervisors that will be coming on here. They've already started, so we just need to reach out to them and invite them to be part of the Create Better Health team. So we look forward to introducing you to them as well. Anybody have anything they want to say before we hop off? Anyone from the state office first? Okay, and how about anyone from counties? Kate, I think you already did Thailand, but I have connections through my son for Thailand. But.
Actually, that's tomorrow, and that's as far as I've gotten on planning. So if he wants to email me, or maybe I can swap it for a week and do Thailand next week, and do Canadian this week. Because I have a Canadian cheese recipe that's...
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I can swap and we can do Thailand next week. That's not a big deal at all. Because if he's there or you know, has a
He
really cool
isn't,
recipe, then that would be great.
yeah, he isn't there right now, but I can get a recipe from him, and I get to talk to him today. So
okay, super.
You need a Canadian friend? I have some Canadian friends.
Yes, I like Canadian food, particularly like stuff from like Quebec and Toronto, because that's where a lot of the Canadians that I know were from, because they just came south to culinary school in New York. So
Hey, do you need any contacts in Italy?
yes.
Okay.
I have a friend that used to work on a cruise ship, so she's sitting home twiddling her thumb, so she's been sharing recipes anyway, but I need a good excuse to visit Italy also. So the more contacts, the better.
Okay.
yeah, those travel industries have been hit pretty hard.
I have another one. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Hiram.
Vietnam. Kate, you need someone? Is that any Vietnamese recipes?
Yes, I love Vietnamese food. So.
All right, I'll see what I can do. Sorry, Heidi.
Nope, that's just fine. And so it was particularly with the cruise industry, they're ones that would purchase a lot of Utah commodity products, and that's part of why there's an excess of products in Utah that can't get through the grocery store systems and things. That we have a little bit of a broken food system right now, and so that's one of the areas that Farmers Feeding Utah has been really trying to assist. For example, the lamb, that was a big export product as well as cruise industry product, and it's just not being, we can't export things right now, and the cruises are shut down. So there's such a backlash of all this stuff that's happening everywhere. It hits all of us. We're all impacted by it, and I just appreciate the work that you guys do to help ease it. I think that helping to educate people on how to eat healthy, particularly the things that we teach are what helps during a pandemic and helps while we're cooking more from home and stuff. So I appreciate the work that you do. All right, I have a question from Melanie that Casey, she wants to meet with us at the end, so we'll just stick on for that. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about real quick before we head off? Okay, well, thank you all for being on, and we'll talk to you next time.